The first reading, a reading from the prophet Isaiah. Say to all faint hearts, courage, do not be afraid. Look, your God is coming. Vengeance is coming. The retribution of God, He is coming to save you. Then the eyes of the blind shall be opened, the ears of the deaf unsealed. Then the lame shall leap like a deer, and the tongues of the dumb sing for joy. For water gushes in the desert, streams in the wasteland. The scorched earth becomes a lake, the parched land springs of water. The word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. The second reading, a reading from the letter of Saint James. My brothers, do not try to combine faith in Jesus Christ, our glorified Lord, with the making of distinctions between classes of people. Now suppose a man comes into your synagogue, beautifully dressed and with a gold ring on, and at the same time a poor man comes in shabby clothes, and you take notice of the well-dressed man and say, "Come this way to the best seats." Then you tell the poor man, "Stand over there," or "You can sit on the floor by my footrest." Can't you see you have used two different standards in your mind and turned yourselves into judges, and corrupt judges at that? Listen, my dear brothers. It was those who were poor according to the world that God chose, to be rich in faith and to be the heirs to the kingdom which He promised to those who love Him. The word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Mark. Returning from the district of Tyre, Jesus went by way of Sidon towards the Sea of Galilee, right through the Decapolis region. And they brought him a deaf man who had an impediment in his speech, and they asked him to lay his hands on him. He took him aside in private, away from the crowd, put his fingers into the man's ears, and touched his tongue with spittle. Then looking up to heaven, he sighed and said to him, "Ephphatha," that is, "Be opened." And his ears were opened, and the ligament of his tongue was loosened, and he spoke clearly. And Jesus ordered them to tell no one about it. But the more he insisted, the more widely they published it. Their admiration was unbounded. "He has done all things well," they said. "He makes the deaf hear and the dumb speak." The Gospel of the Lord. Praise be to you, O Lord Jesus Christ.